Coach, when you look at the numbers, this is like a clash of styles. Super high scoring team, best, one of the best defenses in the country that you guys have. Just, what do you say about that matchup?
I think it's going to be hard because they really do a great job of putting the ball inside. There is no doubt when you watch them play, they're a heavy inside-out team. Certainly have shooters that surround that, but they do as good a job as anybody. From the time they get the ball, they're looking at that basket, and they've got post guys that are running to get it early. If not, they get into their ball screen actions, I think, and they move you to get to it, and they do a great job of getting to the rim, throwing it up, and going to get it. But Tommy's done a terrific job in a short time there, and they play hard, always competitive, and he's got them doing exactly what he wants them to do.
Are they a really good passing team?
They are. I mean, they're sound fundamentally. I mean, yeah. You look at them; they do a lot of great things, and but to be a high-scoring team, you can't turn it over very much. And the way they attack, they run really well. I go back and when I look back on last year's game, we were up, and early they missed some shots, and we made some good shots. But the second half, they just came rolling back and did it with speed. Just really coming at us really hard, and so this is a great arena, great atmosphere, and it's been a long time since I've been there, but have a lot of respect for their fan base, and certainly the job he's done since he's been there.
He said, I guess after your last game, that playing Tennessee is like being in a fist fight. Why do you think you guys are like being in a fist fight?
Well, I do think our guys play hard. I think they know they have to. I think that they understand that we've talked about it and a lot what we want to do, the identity being a defensive team, and hopefully we can get our offense going the way I think we're capable of doing it. But we've got a group of guys that have bought into each other and trying to be the best defensive team, best rebounding team we can be. And if you do that, we truly believe that it's going to give us a chance to be in most games, win most games. But there's nights when you run up against people that you can guard them, but they still make some shots, and that's Arizona's certainly capable of doing that.
Do you expect Jonas and Josiah back, and is Santi still good to go after that hit to the shoulder?
Yeah, I think Santi and Jonas is back for certain. I haven't got a report today on Josiah yet.
Is this one of the more physical basketball teams that you've had in your time as a coach?
Probably it with depth, yeah. And if we can get everybody, certainly Tobey brings us a level of physicality that we haven't had probably since Grant left, in terms of just the way he's built and the way he throws things around. But with Olivier and Uros being older seniors, they're both certainly Olivier and Uros are physical, and Jonas, his length bothers people in a different way. Where those guys can do it maybe with more physicality, Jonas's length is an issue for teams, and but those four guys give us the kind of front line that we need, and but on the outside, Zakai, Santi, Jemai, Julian's learning how to do it. Tyreek's getting it there, and certainly when Josiah's there, all those guys play physical, and we worked hard at trying to do it without fouling. To keep her hands back and try to do it with her chest and feet. But we can get better, and I think our guys understand that.
Rick, you've had several players that have missed games, yet your defense has still been really outstanding. What does that say about your team?
Well, I think it says a lot about them, but I also think it says a lot about our coaching staff, because those guys, they do a terrific job of every day coming in focused to understand that we've got to be. We kept talking in the off season. We've got to be better in all facets, but we knew we had to be better defensively, and mainly that being we've got to continue to get to our gaps early and rebound the ball, contest shots, all that. We've got to stop fouling three-point shooters, that's for certain. The fact is we want to challenge every shot, but we can't continue to. We're getting too close on our runoffs on those personnel players, but again, I think these guys have taken pride in wanting to be a good defensive team.
Other than fouling three-point shooters, what's made your three-point defense?
Well, I think our coaches have done a good job with scouting in terms of how we play, but we go into every game personnel based first in terms of knowing what we think each guy wants to do, wants to get done, and we try to focus on that. And obviously, we know that every team we play, they got good schemes, they've got good offense that they're running, but we're trying to understand that. And this team has done a good job for the most part.
Did Sunday, the noise in the second half, help prepare you guys to go to a true road game? And do you think this team's ready for a true road environment?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was really interesting playing there because when their crowd came to life, it sounded like they had a full house, and when we were up, it sounded like we had it. It's so I think somewhere between the fans and the acoustics were pretty good. But when they started coming back and they were able to get into their, you can't. It's hard to press unless you're making shots to get you. But some teams press made or miss, and but they more of a team that they relied on making shots to get into their press. And when they started getting downhill, scoring, we were catching the ball too deep. And again, the crowd got into it, and I thought our guys handled it. I don't think that rattled our guys at all. I just think the fact that we, at the end we had to make some big shots. We had 3 different guys do it, and at the end when we needed to come up with some stops and rebounds, we were able to do it.
Coach, did Tobey show you enough to get regular minutes now? Or?
Yeah, I think he has put himself in that position that we can count on him and put him out there early. And but I would say that about him and any guy on our team. If you get away from what we need you to do, that doesn't last very long. And but he's the one guy that will prepare and do. He had great preparation because we knew we were going to have to play him early. And to be honest with you, the coaching staff was excited about it because we watched him in practice. He wants to be good. He really does. He puts a lot of time into it. And but as you know, this is going to be a big game for our front line. They are big. They run. They're skilled. Their post guys, I think, look out for each other. And so we're going to have to be ready with our front line.
So the most important thing for Tobey just to find that consistency, and he'll do that night in, night out.
Yeah, and I think he'll continue to learn how to score the ball. That's just coming with the fact that night in and night out he's playing with bigger, stronger players than he has. I'm sure, I can't imagine him being on the court too many times in high school where he wasn't the biggest guy, or even probably through the AAU. But even the other day, he did a great job of going against guys that are just like him and getting rebounds, chasing them down. But it's going to be fun watching him develop because I do think he's going to develop into a good offensive player.
How has Jemai Mashak's game grown since last year?
It has, and again, as he continues to grow, what he can't do is revert back to bad habits. Because I think he's a really good player. I think he's just getting started to how good he can be, and he can't get away from the things that he does well, and get himself. He's gotten himself in the last game. He got himself in trouble offensively, taking some shots that were ill-advised, and we need him to step up and make free throws. And he's a good shooter. He can shoot the ball. He goes so hard, and people wonder why it's hard to make free throws when you go as hard as he goes. And I would say that for a couple of guys on our team. And all at once you go from going all out, physical, and all at once you're standing on the line. He's got to learn to control his breathing, slow down. I told him yesterday when we were in here working, I said, it's like golf. You don't see golfers drive. You see them drive off with the driver, but they don't putt with a driver. And I said, that's what you're shooting with a driver all the time. And I said, we got to get you under control with that. And he worked on it yesterday. And like I said, he's a hard worker and he wants to be good. And he's just getting started to be the kind of player he wants to be.
Coach, what about his confidence? He mentioned that last year to this year it's been a big jump for him, and that last year he might not have felt as confident taking the shot that he did against Maryland. What have you seen specifically with his confidence?
Well, I told him after the game in the locker room in front of the guys that all that work he put in the summer was worth it for that shot alone. That was the shot of the game against Maryland. And but when you put time in, and you should have confidence because and Lord knows he's put in a lot of time. He has put in a lot of time and totally reconstructed his shot, and he still got to. He's like any player. You don't ever stop improving, but he should be confident with that. And like through the preseason, he was shooting the ball well, and like any shooter, you can, you know, miss some shots, certainly, and, but the fact is, if you, the game's kind of gives back what you put in. If you put a lot into it, it's good to you. If you don't, it's not very good to you, and the game should be good to him, because he's put a lot of time into it.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.